show, because no, I am. Welcome to another exciting edition of the tealreport bids, where, oh my, are we ready? The Resurgence Era is officially here, and oh my, are we now going to be the coolest NHL club in the business? Oh yes! So, as you all should be aware by now, it's a big year for the Stars of Barracuda. We are officially moving to our own home. That's right, they're no longer lodgers at SAP Centre. They've got their own home in Text Reader, which is now officially open at the time of recording and releasing this episode of it. It's now open. And very soon, the first piece of action is going to be taking place in that arena. So it's very exciting. Now, we've heard, obviously, back in the spring that the Barracuda were planning, to make the most of this unique occasion by presenting us with 3 brand new jerseys. Each of them have their own unique design, and I have to say, now we have the full, because I knew I was going to do something about this. I thought I'm going to wait until we get all 3, and then we're going to talk about them one by one. I have to say, I am so impressed with the overall result. Because if you, like me, if you do follow AHL hockey as well as your AHL club, you do notice that for a lot of the AHL team's jerseys, while they may come up with a unique design for them, they mainly do tend to, with the colour schemes, they do tend to stick with their parent club's colours. Not all of them. I mean, I'll give you examples of some exceptions. You've got Milwaukee Admirals, Nashville's affiliates, obviously the newbies, Henderson, so Baker's affiliates, Abbotsford, Vancouver's affiliates. I mean, Henderson, you could argue that it's inspired by Baker's, but Baker's now don't wear grey anymore. No, so that's it. Henderson has come on the list. Coachella is going to be another one of the newbies. They're going to be another exception to that rule. Because the Kraken don't wear red. Any others? I think I've covered most of them. That's just a few. That's just a few to give results. Not every actual team. Oh, Springfield, they're another one, but that's because obviously they've literally just changed affiliates. So Springfield, that's not bad. Yeah, so not all teams stick with the same team, their parent club's colours. And the Barracuda for the past 7 years have been, main colour schemes have been blue, white, and orange. And some of our orange, with the orange kind of being the colour base for preferred jerseys, and the orange jerseys of the years have been quite good. I quite like them. But what this new set, this new collection does, is it provides the Barracuda with a new exclusive jersey, which is completely different. And it just makes them completely look like they're like, while there is still some variants of sharp colours in there, there's still variants of teal and white, and there's a little bit, there's still that there. But it just gives the Barracuda, a whole new look, a whole new, fresh look, which gives them their own identity. And that is something that not many AHL teams can say in the American Hockey League. Trust me, it's not. It's absolutely brilliant. So it's called the Resurgence Era. It's going to be so exciting. So 3 in all. Now it's not really been made clear, has it, which are going to be in the main rotation and which is going to be the alternate. Because if you are not familiar with American Hockey League hockey, we in the AHL don't have a rule on jerseys. You know how in the National Hockey League you've got to wear colours on home ice, whites on the road, yeah? Well, in American Hockey League we don't have that rule. We have what is called a rotation. So for the first half of the year, you have to be in your colour jerseys for home ice, and then for the second half of the year, you can then wear your whites. So yeah, so it's good. So you can mix it up and what jersey you wear. You get to see different brands, different colours. So yeah, so that's what happens in we have a rotation. So for the first half of the year you wear your colours, then for the second half of the year you wear your whites. Yeah, and then obviously some teams bring a third jersey in every now and then as alternates. But I think we can maybe work out which probably are going to be the rotations and what's going to be the alternates. So, should we get started? Alright. So the first jersey was released not too long before the end of the season. It's the Blackout Jersey. So, this is the first one. So the Blackout Jersey is a this is going to be... It's very similar, actually, to the Sharks' stealth, you know? Oh yeah, the dreaded stealths. Oh, I remember these kind of thought, oh no. The teaser, when I saw the teaser, I was like, oh no. We're gonna have a stealth version for both clothes. Will the curse never end? Oh, is it bad? Yeah, so it is kind of does take inspiration from the Shark stealth jerseys. It's something unique though for the Barracuda. They've not had a black jersey yet in its sort of rotation, and they haven't worn one with a script logo. But then again, not too many teams can pull that look off. I mean, so far for me, the only team that's managed to pull that off successfully is the Rangers. I mean, the Hurricanes on their roads have tried it, but that does not work. The only team that successfully does a script logo, really, is the Rangers. Now, obviously, because on the Blackout, they've only gone with Cuda. I think you could have maybe pushed to get the full Barracuda. I mean, you could have maybe done it, but it would have looked a bit messy, a bit chunky, a bit all squished together. But I think you could have done it. Yeah. So look at the Blackout and the Cuda square. It's unique. It's very interesting. It's definitely unique there. But when I look at that, I'm thinking, you could have spaced each letter out a bit. I mean, because at the moment, they look like the letters, and it's only 4 letters because they've gone for Cuda, not Barracuda. They look all like they're just close together. And it just leaves a lot of black palette there. But, you know, you could maybe put something else in as well. Yeah. So on the top of the shoulder pad, you've got like the fin logo there, which is kind of inspirational from the stealth, Shark stealth, which is kind of like here. The striping is interesting. You've got that teal there, which is very, very good. Good. I think if we compare it to the Sharks stealth jerseys, on the Sharks stealth jerseys, on the Sharks stealth jerseys, I can't really see that much teal. There's a lot of black, but apart from the logo, I can't see a teal. Here, the Cuda's black take on the take. Now, of course, the Cuda's is not a stealth; it's a blackout. On the Cuda's blackout, you can definitely tell there's teal there in the striping. It's very obvious. It's there. I can see it. It works kind of well, and it's quite interesting to look at. I think the striping's worked out quite well. Gives that teal is there, while at the same time, the theme of the jersey is paramount. It says blackout. I think it's... This is not my favourite of the 3, I will admit. This is not my favourite of the 3. I think it does look a bit plain. It does look a bit dull. But like with all 3D jerseys, I'm interested to see what they will look when we wear them on the ice. That for me is when I'm going to get the best judgment. Because I always hate it with seeing stock image, because you never get to see how it looks, actually probably looked in real life. So it's only until we see the team come out and skate with these jerseys on, that is when we'll be able to get our proper judgment of them. So, while it does look basic, I could maybe, when we see these wore a couple of games, I could then maybe see the better. But for now, I think this is kind of more the basic of the 3. Yeah, but what I do love is that it does give the Barracuda something new. Like I said, we've never had a black jersey. We've not had one with script logo on. So it's a very interesting look to have, and I think it's going to be something very, very different. And will it put the Sharks stealth jersey to shame? I think it maybe could. And let's pray to God it doesn't have the stealth curse. We'll have to call it the blackout curse, but if it does, if these blackouts do have the same bad luck as the stealth jerseys do, we'll have to call this the blackout curse. We'll have to, yeah, but yeah, so that is jersey number 1. Alright, let's move on to jersey number 2. Now, jersey number 2 came round about not long after the Commonwealth Games here in Birmingham came to an end. And oh, is this gorgeous. It's the ice jerseys. Wow. They're absolutely gorgeous. I'm loving them. I love them. The ice. It's just absolutely gorgeous. For me, I just love a white. I love a white jersey. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy wearing colours here today, but I always do love a good white jersey. I think the Sharks need to improve on their white jerseys because it's just very bland. Whereas other teams, I envy their whites because they look quite good. The Sharks need to take inspiration here for the Barracuda here, because this is how you do a white jersey. Gorgeous. It really is gorgeous. And before the release of the third one, he asked me to pick between Blackout and Ice, which was the best. I probably would go with Ice. One particular standout is that kind of unique font that's being used for the numbers on this jersey. The letter font is also unique. I think it's also unique as well. That is a big standout there. The striping for me is also a big takeaway as well. The striping is absolutely brilliant. You know how you've got it on the sleeves, you've got it on the kind of like here, so below what's on the chest, the logo of the chest plate card there. That easily could be used as someone's wallpaper. That I could easily see the striping here. I could easily see that being used as wallpaper, because maybe when I want to get them in place, we can maybe turn this into like, or I could turn area in my home with that striping on as a wallpaper. It would look gorgeous. It's brilliant. Actually, brilliant. And also the colour variation is great as well, particularly with the shoulder plate here. It's brilliant. Because you've got, here for the shoulder plate, you've got the teal. And that works absolutely brilliant. And how it contrasts with the white, it's absolutely brilliant. Absolutely works perfectly. It works absolutely brilliantly. And the logo is brilliant as well. So on one, I'm not going to try and do left or right because it probably won't be right. So on one shoulder plate you've got the Barracuda, the other shoulder plate you've got the Shark. It works perfectly, connects the two franchises together. Absolutely works, a treat. My only sort of critique, and this is the only critique I have, I know it's also probably going to seem trivial, but it's just a one little critique, and that is the chest plate. On the chest plate, we've got the SJ initials. Now, I've got no problem with that. I quite like that. I think it's something unique, and that easily could have been something we could have maybe had a second on our old jerseys, but having the chest plate, I look at them and think, right, that's not really screaming to me Barracuda. This, to me, the ice jersey for me is more of a San Jose hockey jersey. It's more of a jersey to commemorate the San Jose hockey community as a whole. It's not really, to me, screaming Barracuda. Yes, there's a Barracuda on the shoulder plate, but you'd have, wherever you wear a jersey, you have to try and, you want to show what's on the shoulder, you can't have to do like this, be like, oh, I'm wearing the wrong jersey to demonstrate, because obviously there's nothing on these shoulders, but I'm wearing the wrong one. you've got to be you got to sort of kind of do this. If there is something on your shoulder plate for your jersey, you want to look at it. You've got to kind of do a little scruffle to try and find it. That's what the ice has with the Barracuda. You've got to try and do the scruffle to try and find it somewhere. Oh, it's there. That's a good idea. So the SJ little down. Well, I've got no problem with that. Helps make the jersey look unique. My only critique is it just then makes it just look too generic. And if this is going to be in the rotation, which I think it definitely will be, because obviously we have to have a white jersey in this. So this is I think we can say for sure the ice jersey is definitely going to be rotation. So, it's not really making it very clear this is the Barracuda. It looks more like a jersey you'd have for Saturday to celebrate Saturday hockey as a whole, which is again brilliant unique. But I'm looking for those Barracuda elements there. But for me, the stripe as a whole, that is top notch. And I will admit to you guys, before we got the release of the Fire jersey, this was kind of the one I was leaning towards. Oh, if I had to pick one, I would go ice. I'm not gonna do the whole thing. If you get the drift, I would be like ice. It just looks so gorgeous, and it looks it's absolutely thrilling. I can't wait to see your team in these. It's gonna look they're gonna look absolutely gorgeous. It's just absolutely stunning. But yeah. But the colour contrast they've got absolutely right, because normally on jerseys for any team, and depending on what colours they are, it can end up looking like a bit of a mess. But here you've got that colour palette just right. Having the teal on the shoulder plate, that is brilliant, and it's more when you sort of look at the back is where it really comes into play. The striping is absolutely brilliant. Can we get that striping made as wallpaper? Because when I get to one day move into my own home, I would want that. Probably not in the home studio, but maybe have it in the living room or maybe in the kitchen. I'd want that as wallpaper for my house. That's what I want. So can we get sorry, the striping is absolutely gorgeous. That for me is the number one thing about the jersey. The foreign numbering, that's number two. But, a little bit. So I was all sold on the ice. So, obviously, you're thinking, right, how's the third one going to top? And, if I bring it up now. Ice got topped. So, the third and final jersey is the steel jersey. Now, I was a little bit uneasy about how a steel jersey, sort of like scratching the head, thinking, "Oh, is this gonna work out well or not? Is it not gonna work out?" Because steel, I immediately think of grey. Right. So now, I think the steel looks quite good. Now, for me, if we to put steel and ice together, that is the concept is pretty much identical. You've got the striping's back. Obviously, it doesn't work now because the jersey's main palette is grey. Because on ice it works brilliantly because the main jersey palette is white. On steel, it doesn't work as well because the main palette of the jersey is now grey. It doesn't work. But what you've also got with the steel jerseys is where the shoulder plate is, it's still got that teal. You've also got like a white line as well, which you don't have, which you do have on the ice, but it's black. Whereas for steel, it's ice. I didn't notice that. It's white. I didn't notice that on the ice one. But that's because I'm not really good with black. I prefer white over black. So that's quite, yeah. So the white, which makes it stands out a bit more, did on the ice. But yeah, now there's a difference. Now there are some differences which I'll go through now. On the shoulder plates, you've got two shark logos. That's because on the chest plate, you've got the Cuda right there, the Barracuda logo right there in all its menacing glory, right there. This, of all the three, Steel jersey to me literally screams Barracuda jersey. That is literally good. And this jersey was presented during the grand opening of TechCU Arena. I think this really does make it stand out from the others. Yes, you could argue it's basically a grey version of the ice jerseys, but it just, for me, this kind of feels like the winner. This, if you force me to pick one, and I'm gonna talk about it in a moment, this for me would be the winner. Because for me, it literally screams Saturday Barracuda. The others are good, but for me, this literally screams Saturday Barracuda, and that's what I want to see from these jerseys. I want to see. I'm just in awe of the steel jersey. I mean, it's absolutely cool. The grey is not too bad as well, because I'm not really a big fan of grey. It's sort of, you could sort of maybe say it's similar to what we've had on the reverse retro, right? But more, but I think it's more paler than this. But yeah. So the striping from the ice is there. So you got on the sleeves, got here. But I think the striping works a bit better on the ice jerseys than here on the steel, because obviously, as I mentioned on the ice jersey, that its main colour palette is white, but here for the steel, its main palette is grey. So the ice works. So for the striping, it works better on the ice than it does on grey. But I appreciate them having a go. It works absolutely brilliant. And like I said, the Barracuda logo being there, that for me is kind of what helps to seal the deal, because that for me screams Barracuda jerseys, and with that, you pretty much straight away know, yeah, it's either Barracuda. The other two, you would have to sort of try and work out what it's related to. But yeah, for me, this, I think, for me, is the winner. That's the winning jersey. I think it's the best. Well, there. I mean, it looks absolutely quite gorgeous. I think you could have picked any of these to be the jersey you were built at the run opening. You could have picked any one, and we would still have gone, oh, it's lovely. Yeah, it's just the way the rotation worked. Right, speaking of rotation, let's hark back, because it's not very clear which of these are going to be the rotation, which of these are going to be the alternates. But for me, I think it's quite obvious. I think the Blackout is going to be our third jersey. Because given how very similar both ice and steel look, it would be a bit odd if one of those two between ice and steel was in the rotation and the other was a third jersey. It would feel a bit odd, wouldn't it, given how very, very, very similar those two jerseys are. So I think ice and steel are going to be our rotation jerseys. So the first half of the year you'll wear one on home ice, and the second half of the year you'll wear the other. It's normally around about New Year when the rotation kicks in. It's more around about that time, so you get a fair amount of wearing two different jerseys on home ice. So yeah, I think the Blackout. I think for me, Blackout is going to be the third jersey. That'll be the one you bring out every now and then. I think we are planning for opening night against Henderson to be a Blackout night. I think I did hear that on the grapevine. That for our first game in TechCU, it's going to be Blackout. Which, fair dues. But I think personally as a whole, it would not surprise me if Ice and Steel became your primary jerseys and the Blackout was more of a third jersey where you wear on, say, select nights throughout the season. Similar to how the Sharks do with the stealth jerseys, but of course we all know every time that happens, it's an automatic loss. But hey, at least we've worked out what's called the Blackout curse. If that goes downhill, Blackout curse. Yeah, hopefully not. But if it does go wrong, just remember who came up with it, okay? Remember that. Yeah. So I think Even though they haven't said which jerseys are the rotation, which jerseys are third, I think you could work it out easily. Steel, Ice, put them in rotation. Blackout, you make as a third jersey to wear every now and then, like for example, opening night. Oil, I literally tip my hat to the side of Barracuda. What they've been doing throughout the whole off-season in generating this buzz, getting the feel, getting everybody excited for this new exciting era. The teasers that we had on social media. Literally, when my Twitter feed kept showing up those teasers, I was like, oh my god, what? It's literally like, what is going on? And just try to work out, okay, right, what's this gonna be? What's it gonna look like and everything? And I'm not sure I feel about it. No. You know, but yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. You know, that was the fun. It was a great way to get excitement, buzzing, and teasing. That was brilliant. Then the reveals themselves were very epic, giving a little video, and then you build the full jersey. The Barracuda did a very, very, very good job in promoting these and getting us all hyped. And what you've now got is 3 unique jerseys, which gives the Barracuda, as I said at the start of this video, it gives the Barracuda their own identity. It gives them their own feel. It makes them look unique, and it's gonna make them stand out when we begin the 2022-23 season. So that Pursuit division, plus the Texas Stars, plus the Iowa Wild, you are all gonna be green with envy when you face the Stars of Barracuda, because you are gonna just look at our designs, you're gonna look at our kit, and you're gonna go, why can't we have nice jerseys like them? You're gonna be like, why can't we have nice gear? Why can't we have our own look? Why have we got to look like our parents? Don't they know how uncool that is? You are gonna look at us and you're gonna be literally green with envy because we've now got a unique set of jerseys which are gonna make us the envy of the National Hockey League. And so, to sort of finish this off, if I had to pick one to definitely put in my closet, along with all my other Sharks ones that I've got, so my All-Star Weekend one for 2019, my Stadium Series one for 2015, my Heritage, my Reverse Retro, obviously my primary ones. If I had to pick one Battle D3 to Barracudas to definitely go in my closet with my other my Sharks ones, I probably would say Steel. But Ice, very, very close. I mean, I love Ice. I love the design of it. Of Ice. I love that design. And I do love how they tried to replicate it with Steel, but obviously it doesn't really have the same effect because of the colour palette, the main base of the colour palette of the jersey doesn't really look the same. But it's the Barracuda logo. If you had swapped the two logos on the chest plates with Ice and Steel around, then I could have gladly said, Ice, Ice, 100% of the way. But for me, I'd want something definitely in my closet that would definitely scream Barracuda, and of course Steel does that. So it would be Steel. But Ice was a very, very close second. And then obviously the Blackouts. Looking at all these stock photos, because that's literally all we've got at the moment is just stock photos. When we get to see the season going, when we get to see these properly, then maybe I can go, actually, it doesn't look that bad really. But yeah, not really too keen on Blackout. But maybe, who knows, as the season progresses, I might get around to liking it. But for me, if I had to pick one to definitely put in my closet, it would be Steel. But Ice is very, 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 very close. Very close second. God, look at them, they're so gorgeous. Right, there we go. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you loved today's show, do click the like button. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, click the subscribe button. That way you'll never miss a single video content comes out on the channel, including episodes of tealreport bids. In order to make definitely certain you are never missing out, just hit the bell and you will automatically notify every new video that comes out on the channel. Don't forget, you can also listen and subscribe to the tealreport podcast wherever you get your podcast to find out where it is distributed. Visit our webpage at anchor.fm/tealreport. And if you'd like to get in touch with us with all your thoughts on the Sharks season, any questions, and if you've got any future suggestions for tealreport bids, send those in. We might consider doing them. You can get in touch with us at tealreportpodcast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, all that's left for me to say is, and so I'll leave you now.